But the Niners still have a problem with beating man coverage. And Brian Flores said, I'm going to blitz you, play man, and there was a lack of separation. That's something to monitor. Now, that's intriguing to me. Can we get separation on the outside to help out Brock Purdy?
I don't know. That's interesting. I know there's all these advanced analytics and stuff. It feels to me a little deep. Like, for example, Mike Evans. I don't think Mike Evans, and I don't know what the data tells you, but my eyeballs don't tell me that he's like, boom, 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 in and out of his routes, and he's just like 4 yards open, 3.5 yards open. To me, he's like, just throw it up, I'll make a play. You know what I mean? When I look at Nico Collins right now, the reason why I like Nico Collins is I'm like, damn, he's 6'4.5", and he's just a big body dude who, he can run. There's no doubt about it. Like DK's a big body dude, he can run, but it's like the catch radius and the way he can block guys out. That's the thing I think that the Niners are missing, not this crazy separation. I think you need a couple more big body possession receivers. That's why Chris Connolly, who's not that great, that's why I think he does have a role, and Juwan Jennings does have a role. Like, does Juwan Jennings kill it when it comes to separation? Not really. He's got great hands. He's physical as hell, and he's got the trust of his quarterback. So, like, I'm not saying that those things don't matter. Getting separated, like Jerry Rice was a separation monster, I'm sure, right? But there's other elements to being a really good player. Keenan Allen has made a career off of being a smooth route runner, but more than anything, just being reliable and being a guy who catches the ball over the middle. Deebo Samuel's had a hell of a career just catching the ball in traffic. I don't think he gets great separation. So I think we make a little too much of these separation numbers. Now, can guys get open? Does the quarterback trust them? Or are you dialing up play calls for that guy? Are you running specific things to get people open? Those are like a little more different than just pure separation numbers.
When you don't have outside wide receivers who are not blazers, who are not like, we don't think of Brendan Ayuk as a big speedster guy. Yeah. We don't think of Debo as a big speedster guy. We don't think of Jennings as a big speedster guy. We hope Cowie could be that. We hope Pearsall could possibly be that. But when you don't have that, I think separation is key. I think getting in the right position. They were all over Deebo Samuel last week. Now, Deebo ended up having a really good game, made some great catches over the middle of the field, some high throws from Brock Purdy. Now, I would like to see him lower. It's like, you can't miss high over the middle.
I agree.
You got to be careful there. The fact that they are having this issue, it's just something to monitor. I think it's something coming off of that Super Bowl, that image of like, damn, Kansas City dared them to pass. They sat up in man defense and said, we're going to blitz the hell out of you. You empty the backfield, you go 5 wide, we're bringing 6. Like, straight up. And they had no answers for it. And on the goal line on Sunday, same thing. You want to go empty gun? Van Ginkel gets in, he's scot-free. Free rusher. We got to do something about the scheme here to limit that stuff. And by the way, I'm not even sure that's a completed pass because Harrison Smith looked like he was all over Juwan Jennings. So, I don't know. It's just something very, very intriguing there. But Hufanga's going to come back. He's going to be ready to roll against the LA Rams, and that's a good thing. Here's what Shanahan said about Hufanga.
They got Tig a lot of reps last year. He had to step in the middle of the year and got him a lot better. But obviously, always miss Huff out there. The big play capability, how well he communicates, flying sideline to sideline. We're going to be pumped. He should get back this week if everything goes right, and we've missed him.
We've missed him a lot.
Tig and him haven't really played a lot together or at all. Like, how's that? I'm trying to remember the beginning of last year. I know Tig was on the bench. It was Gibson. Yeah.
Deshaun Gibson was playing.
So this is going to be, obviously a work in progress. 2 young players who haven't played a lot together. I don't know how much practice time they've gotten together. That is definitely going to be something to monitor.
No, it is.
And as we saw in the last game, a safety mistake can cause a huge momentum swing in a game.
And maybe we should just ban 2 high safeties.
How random is it that I read that article and then that came out? Like, that was a huge article this morning.
I mean,
and I couldn't believe it.
Oh, wow. There's a Tony Dungy tweet. Thanks, Dan, for including me in the legacy of cover 2, but our Tampa, blah, blah, blah. I didn't see it. But
it's about the 2 high safeties.
Louis Riddick was saying that's just ridiculous. He basically said that. So he said, yeah, that's crazy talk. He brought up the muff punt, Jacob Cowie. He said Matt Lively said that Jacob Cowie was muffing some punts in practice. So punt return. I thought of you immediately when he fumbled his punt snap. And
well, you told me that I was crazy, and the amount of people I heard from, the amount of people I heard from who said, Joe, I feel the same way as a Niner fan, where when the ball's in the air, it's like, just catch it, just catch it, just catch it, just catch it. The amount of people who are like, I wouldn't even put someone back there. I've heard from so many people who said that, like, hey, if we get it at the 1, we get it at the 1.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's crazy too.
But you don't field your own punt inside the 10.
No,
So
I hear that. No, I know that. I know that. But that punt returns, whether it's 20 to 30 to 40, 50, Niners fumble punts all the time, but I'm not going to get PTSD about it. It's like, damn, we can't find a punt returner. I'm not going to live my life with PTSD in football. I'm not going to do it. But, I did think of you, and I kind of chuckled. Because I knew, oh, my God, they followed a punt, and everybody's scrambling for the ball. I kind of cackled. I'm not going to lie. I kind of cackled.
You cackled.
I cackled. I did. I kind of cackled.
See, this is the difference between a real fan.
Oh, yeah, real fan.
I'm just teasing.
Yeah, no, that's what you guys think. Oh, my God, Joe, I feel you. You guys live your life on the edge.
The businessman in Bonte sat there and was like, this fumble's good for business.
Hey, I sat there and said, hey, man, losses
I am
don't hurt
rooting
me.
against the Giants.
Losses don't hurt me. Almost bet on the Vikings in that game. That's how much you were talking. I was like, man, I may have to put some chicken on this. Kyle Shanahan.
Because I'm swaying the gods of football.
Kyle Shanahan.
This one muff punt, I mean, just when it comes to catching stuff, he's been as natural of a catcher as we've had in our 8 years here, just in practice, how he's been in the games. I know that one got away from him, which we can't have those, but everyone muffs one here and there, and you just hope that was the end of it.
Who has been their best returner in the 8 years that they've been here?
Take it.
8 years. The 8 years.
Oh, Shanahan. No, they haven't had good punt return.
I mean, he's as good as we've had. Yeah, but they've all been kind of suspects.
It hasn't been pretty.
I mean,
it hasn't been pretty.
That's like I led the Giants in home runs in 2018. It's like, well, not many people hit home runs in 2018.
That is crazy, though. That is crazy.
I mean, it might be Ray Ray McCloud.
Hey, let's just take the ball.
Who had the biggest fumble ever.
Let's take the ball. Let's take the ball at the 1 yard line. It wasn't even Ray Ray's fault. Darrell Luter was blocking and hit his leg. What do you got to do?
Ray was suspect all year.
Yeah, but you can't blame that on Ray Ray in the Super Bowl. It hit Darrell Luter.
Your job is to catch the ball it's just you have one job.
Luter in the leg.
But come on.
It hit him in the leg.
Come on.
You can't do anything about that.
Everyone's at fault in that. It's the Super Bowl.
Oh, my God.
And what they do on the very next play, touchdown, like right away.
McCaffrey fumbled. He fumbled.
No doubt.
Ray he should have been telling, hey, poison, get away. But Darrell Luter, he hit his leg. That's not all Ray. Luter, get the hell out the way. Oh, my God. Kevin Byard, by the way, the safety for the Bears. If they ban too high safety, I'll retire.
Oh, yeah, right.
Hashtag dumb.
Yeah.
Hashtag dumb.
Hashtag not going to happen.
Hashtag dummy of the day, Mel Kiper. Matt Lively, KPIX. Brendan Ayuk, listen to this.
We've seen the separation numbers in the advanced metrics, and the Niners rank in the bottom half of the league and where their wide receivers are getting separation, which is making it tougher for Brock Purdy. But all I'll say is this. If you just got paid $120 million, if you sat out the entire preseason, all of training camp, and now Deebo Samuel is hurt and Christian McCaffrey is hurt, it better be your coming out party. Because after Brandon, you've got Jawan Jennings, who is great. You still have George Kittle. It's not like this offense is lacking weapons, but Ricky Pearsall isn't ready to go. Jacob Cowing might have to take more of a role. You might see Chris Conley out there more, but those aren't the sexy names that you want when you're thinking of the 49ers. It is Brandon Ayuk or bust this week. He's got to have a big game to get his confidence up, to get this offense back in rhythm, because through 2 weeks, at the 2 games I've seen, it is a sloppy offense.
Why'd that hit you so hard? In the middle of him talking about Brandon Ayuk, you went,
Just know how this stuff works with real fans.
How does it work?
Every catch, every drop, every route, whenever he jogs off the field, body language, the way he wears his uniform, the dreads being gone. Now he's got braids. And people say, well, he's lost some juice. Now he doesn't have dreads. All that stuff.
I've not seen that.
Yeah, trust me, I've seen that, because that's what real fans do, right? We analyze everything. Even the haircut. Like when Kaminga cut his dreads, everybody, oh my God, Kaminga cut the dreads. What's going on? Actually, the haircut, he balled out after the haircut. Balled out. Had a hell of a year.
The reverse Samson?
So, yeah, I guess the reverse Samson. So, Brandon Ayuk has got to play well. There's no doubt this is a big game for him. This is a big, he cannot walk off that field with 3 catches and 37 yards.
Can I ask you a question? Did you really think him holding out the way that he did and being as vocal as he did all offseason was going to do him favors to start the season?
Of course not. Of course not.
So why are we that surprised?
No, I'm not surprised, but it's just hilarious to me. He's going to have, he's not going to put up the numbers he did last season with the team that is at the bottom of the list when it comes to throwing the ball
Yeah, but
per
they
game.
need him now more than they did last year.
They definitely need him. They definitely need him.
So why do you mean he's like, you're just already conceding that he's not going to have a great year?
No, I'm not conceding that at all. I'm saying he could still have a great year and not put up the numbers he had last year. It may be 1,200. It may be 1,250. Maybe 1,300. But the expectations for him after holding in, I think some fans expect him. You got Jefferson money. You need to have 1,500 yards receiving. It's not going to happen on this football team. Just not. But Sunday, without Debo, without Chris McCaffrey, that magnifying glass on number 11.
Well, if he comes out and has another 4-catch, 44-yard game, and the offense looks, suspect,
they can win the game. They can win the game.
You think so?
They can win the game. If they win and he has 4 catches for 30 yards, oh my God.
Really? I think winning tamps down the frustration.
Not with this fan base.
Really?
Not with this fan base.
You don't think?
Oh, hell no. Oh, Sasky, you've been doing this show with me.
Yeah, I kind of think a win is just needed. I think a win is just needed.
No, because it's the lowly Rams. They have nobody playing. Hell, the Niners could beat the Rams by 15 points this week. And there's going to be cynics out there saying, well, you better beat the Rams by 15. They have nobody playing.
Well, I would say to them, well, Bonte Hill told me, who's a very wise man, division games are just different, and you have to find a way to win.
There you go. See what I'm saying?
I know.
There you go. There you go. But you kind of making my point. People are still going to find a way to find an excuse. That's what we do in sports these days. That's what we do. Just admit it. You know it's true. They could win 20-17. Ayuk has 3 catches for 37 yards. Yeah, they won, but boy, did we pay the wrong guy in Brandon Ayuk?
Well, I think that's a fair conversation to have as the season's going on and you see how he's being utilized, right? Like, again, and this goes back to the whole, financial component. Was it smart to pay someone $30 million who you never really target a dozen times a game? I think that's a fair conversation. That's not being a hater. It's more like business strategy. Case in point, right?
I just want to get 10 targets.
Is it smart for Joe Shasky to buy a boat when I don't live on a lake? Is it smart for Joe Shasky to buy a boat when I have no place to put it? Is it smart for Joe Shasky to have a boat when I'm not a fisherman? No. None of those things are true.
What if you just want to go out there lakeside and go, roll out like Klay Thompson?
Is it worth the bang for the buck? So I do believe there's a fair conversation throughout the year of, was it smart business to give a guy $30 million a year when you're just never, by the way that this offense is and how you're set up, you're never going to throw to anyone 12 times a game other than Debo.
By the way, division games are different, except this Rams team is so damn beat up, they let Arizona drop 41 on them. That game looked personal for Arizona. So Rams have had their number in these division games. They've had their number. But it is Niners-Rams, so expect the unexpected. But I'm looking. I'm looking at you two. Who just said that? Top 5 money, I want top 5 production. I'm saying, come on, man. You know how this works? I'm not saying anything that's a lie, right? Am I lying? Just watch